What's up, guys? In this video I'm going to show you how to wrap your roof black or any color really. I am using not the best wrap that you can use, but Vivid. It's one step above like their bottom level wrap. I don't know what they call it. I think they call it's like the Vivid Plus like air release or something like that. But you can't see it in there, but this does have like a protective like coating on it, so whenever I get the wrap fully on there, you can peel off the coating. It'll keep you from scratching it with like the squeegee whenever you're working with it. And then it also has air release, so it has little channels in the adhesive. So say if you get like a bubble in the middle of the roof and you don't want to lift the whole thing up to get it out, you should just be able to rub it and the air will come out. And there's a few things you need to do when prepping for this. You'll have to clean your roof really well, and you'll also want to clay bar it to make sure there's nothing stuck on your roof, which what I do, I just washed my car yesterday, but I'm going to go ahead and use this detail spray, wipe down the whole thing, make sure there's no water spots or anything, because all of that will show up on the wrap. And then once it's all clean, I'll just leave it wet and spray it with this detail spray, and then rub the whole roof down with this clay bar to make sure there's no contaminants in there that'll show up on the wrap. And then after that, I'll wipe it all down and then wipe it down with some isopropyl alcohol here to make sure that the surface is completely clean. And then some other things you'll need for this, I have these plastic squeegees. This is a plastic, well, this is another plastic squeegee here. I have a plastic razor, but I'm not going to use that. And then this is a squeegee with a felt tip on the end, which is what I will be using to press down the wrap. And then you'll also want a good sharp knife to cut the wrap. And also you'll want a heat gun. You may not need a heat gun, but you definitely, if you have edges you have to wrap it around, you'll probably need one. You can even use a hairdryer if you want a hairdryer. It's hot enough. This is just faster. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Depending on what kind of car you have, mine is going to be a little bit difficult because I have the sunroof, which is probably what I'm worried about the most. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll it back down into the car and leave the sunroof open, and then that'll allow me to get down into these edges here. And then also I have this shark fin antenna, which is not OEM. I added that on there, but it's stuck on there with adhesive, so I'm going to have to remove this and clean off all of the adhesive, because I do not want to have to worry about wrapping around this. So I'm just going to take it off. I'll wrap it flat, and then I'll wrap this part black, or just paint it black, and then stick it back on, and that'll probably be the end of that. And then here I have like this part that like goes into my wing, and I think I'm gonna wrap this part too. So I may start with this because it's a smaller section, and I can kind of, I've wrapped before. I have a little bit of experience doing it because I've just done little things on my car. But I think I'm going to do this to get used to it, and then I'll move on to the big part of the roof because I just have that one roll of vinyl for that. But I have a smaller one, and I'm going to go ahead and put it here on the back, and I'll start with that. I'm going to go ahead and clean the whole thing, and then I will kind of just have a time lapse of the other part of it. And if you have a Focus ST and you're watching this, I'll show you how to remove the headliner and get the antenna off whenever I get my shark fin off. But I'm going to go ahead and get started. And another thing I'm going to do on my car, and probably on most cars, is remove these like plastic trim pieces. On my car, all you do is just pull them up and they come out of the clips there. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull these all the way out, all the way along, and clean down in there. And then I've also had my windshield replaced, and you can see there's like this glue in there from them replacing my windshield. So I'm going to try to get that plastic razor down in there and scrape off all this glue so it's clean and there's a better surface for the wrap to tuck down in there. And then we'll also be tucking the wrap down inside of this area here. All right, so it's super windy outside, so I closed the garage, so it'll be a little echoey in here, but I got the roof all clay barred. You can see it's super shiny and there's nothing on it other than that huge dent right there. But I'm going to roll the sunroof back, and I'd recommend doing this with another person to help you. I'm just going to get it started and then might have my dad come help me. But I'm going to start with the front, and you can do it yourself if you just get it stuck down on one side. You just kind of pull and stretch it. But if you have 2 people, you can kind of just stretch it and then lay it down, and it'll kind of just lay evenly right from the start. And the other piece of wrap I had for this was too small, so I'm just going to use the leftovers from this piece to wrap the like this little back section here on the tailgate. And I also decided I'm probably just going to leave this on because I'll lay it down, and then I'll just heat it up and kind of push it through here, and then just cut a slit across here, and then push the wrap down, and I'll just tuck it up against this edge up in there. And I think that'll make it to where you won't be able to see any white up in there. So I'm just gonna, I don't know why this is having so much trouble focusing, but I'm just gonna tuck it up in there against the adhesive and then cut it and then lay the wrap down. And I think that'll be much easier. And if I ever want to remove it, that means I don't have to remove the antenna again. And then I'll just wrap the antenna on here. I have another like spare piece of black wrap, and I'm just gonna do the antenna after I do the rest of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it, try to get it laid down on the car. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start a time lapse of the whole wrapping part, because there's not a whole lot to see there other than just kind of the method of how I do it, which I want to stretch it and lay it down as flat as possible. Then I can kind of show you up closer how to do the edges and how to, like, you want to heat it up and then tuck it down in here. And you'll be lucky if you have a car like this, because you can just tuck it down, press it down in there, and then put that trim back over it, and it'll be a nice clean edge. But you'll obviously want to start in the middle and then just make straight strokes outwards and push all the air out. And I guess we'll see how it goes. So the roof is all done now. You can see I pulled the protective coating off of the wrap, and it is super shiny. Let's see if I can get a better angle of the whole car. It definitely, I mean, it looks pretty cool. I'm not sure if I completely love it yet. I guess I'll see whenever I take it out in the daylight. And I'll take some pictures of it and stuff and see how it looks. But it was pretty annoying and difficult. I probably would not do this again, but I ended up getting it to work. I did have to, if you can see, there's like some lines here. That's where I had to, like, the vinyl, it just like wouldn't, I don't know, I couldn't get the wrinkles out in this spot. There was like too much of it clumped together, probably because I didn't take the antenna off, so I ended up just cutting it and putting a new piece there. But it's whatever. I'll probably only have this on for a year or so anyways. And then I didn't even wrap this. I just used some stuff. It's like Plasti Dip, but it's like kind of glossy. It's called like custom wrap, and I just sprayed that on there instead of actually wrapping it. And the color matches perfectly, and it looks fine. And there are a few imperfections if you look in the light. Like right there, you can see there's some like little wrinkles and bubbles that I couldn't get out with the heat gun. And if you do get like some swirl marks and scratches on this, you can just hit it with a heat gun and it'll take them out. And I'm sure, as you saw in the time lapse, I opened the sunroof and stood up in the seats through the sunroof to end up getting this part to work right. And then also I opened the sunroof to tuck it down in the edges, and you can see that looks pretty much perfect all the way around. It just is tucked under that rubber seal, and that holds it on. But that's pretty much it for this video. It definitely beats paying $300 or more to have it done by a shop. Even though it doesn't look perfect, it kind of gets the idea of what it would look like, and you definitely will not be able to tell from far away that it was a DIY job. But let's see. Actually, there's one more thing. This is air release vinyl, so if there's like a small bubble, you can see there's some, like, you can even see, like, there's even some slight scratches just from me rubbing it with my finger. So I feel like instead of, you can't polish this, but every now and then just hit it with a heat gun after washing it if you have swirl marks or anything. Like, if you can see that scratch there, that'll come out easy with a heat gun. I just haven't gone around and done all of them yet. But if you have like a big bubble, like, you know, fairly big on here, and it's not coming out by rubbing it with the air release vinyl, you can just take your X-Acto knife that you use to cut it and just press it down right in the middle and poke a little hole, and then that'll let the air out, and you can just rub it out, and it will come out through the hole. I guess I can't really show you where I've done that, but all it does is there's a little itty bitty hole in there, and you really can't even notice it. Like even if you're looking for it, you won't really see it. So that's another good way to get the bubbles out of the vinyl. But that is pretty much it for this video. Please like and subscribe and follow me on Instagram at Nickjoenap. And click my link in the description to check out my merch. I'm hoping to add more to that soon. That will help support the channel and the build. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.